Hi guys. Okay, so I've been having some comments going back and forth on one of my other videos with a person. We've been talking about reasons that they believe guilty in this case. One of their reasons is the past violence with Stephen Avery, and for example, with his ex-wife and with his ex-girlfriend, with Jody. And I started to share some of my own personal experience. I was with an abusive husband for 2 years, and so I got a little bit of inside knowledge on this sort of thing. And this is just from my own personal experience. Not all abusive relationships are like this, obviously. He was not that type of person that would like have a bad day at work and come home and just like beat the shit out of me for no reason. He wasn't like that. He would be pretty cool unless I was pushing him to talk about something he didn't want to talk about. And I'll just give you a perfect example. He was a cheater and a liar. He would steal my money because he wasn't working, would lie to me that he was going to work and he'd actually be with other girls. He would steal our rent money that I worked for in our joint bank account and stay gone all weekend with other girls. And of course, when he'd come back, I would want to know where the hell he's been, what's he been doing, who was he with, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I pretty much knew, but I didn't know. And of course I'm pushing. I want to know where my money is and things like that. I'm mad. How could you leave me, here alone and not contact me? So, of course I'm pissed. And, I'm kind of a smartass, and I'm definitely a talker. So, I want to talk about this. I want to know. And I didn't just, come attacking, rawr, tell me what the hell you've been doing. I'm definitely not violent. I don't like screaming and hollering. I just want to have a conversation. And honestly, as crazy as it might sound, I'm not like the naggy kind of wife. I wasn't the naggy kind of wife. I would just be like, all right, I obviously know something happened. Just tell me, and we'll deal with it. Because I'm all for trying to work through things, and anybody that knows me can kind of see that. I'm kind of a peacemaker. I don't like conflict. I don't like to, fight. But he was not able to verbally communicate his frustrations and things with me, his feelings and stuff. So his intelligence was pretty low. And I think that played a factor in why he would just not be able to verbalize his feelings and what he wanted to say to me, or his frustrations, like, I'm getting too upset to talk, I don't want to talk anymore, we cannot continue to talk, need to walk away, things like that, where he would just suddenly go into a rage. He really would kind of switch like that. And of course it started off small, just pushing and objects being broken and holes in walls and things like that, and then eventually it was directed onto me. But my point is that he never behaved that way with strangers. He never behaved that way with acquaintances, or people he worked with, or friends. He was only that way with the people that were really close to him, that could hurt him in some way. And I think it was just some sort of defense for him. Like, this is a painful conversation that we're having. I mean, we're talking about the fact that I stole your money, that I blew it all, that I cheated. A hard conversation to have, understandably. And so I'm sure that could be painful. And I don't know the situation that was going on with Stephen and his ex-wife, or Stephen and Jody, but I imagine that there were conflicts like that in their relationship, as everybody has. But when you are dealing with somebody that can't really express themselves, sometimes there's violence. And So I can't say that I know this for sure about Stephen. I don't. I'm just guessing. Because there are accusations and I guess some charges like that against him, domestic violence and things like that. So I'm just going to guess here. This is just my personal opinion, not facts. I just would say that if he is in any way similar to my ex-husband, he would not have gone after someone like Teresa. Like, even in the example, like, he hit on her and she rejected him. That's not the sort of thing that would upset him enough to become violent or aggressive. It would have just been like okay, whatever, like pretty much like anyone else. All right, fine, whatever. Walk away, do something else. Like I said, this is a very specific kind of situation where they would have to be in a position to hurt him. And I don't believe just a business acquaintance like Teresa and Stephen would have had that sort of relationship in any way. So I don't think that he would have snapped or become violent with her for any reason. There is no motive. No one knows motive. So to just assume that those things are connected because Stephen was violent with women before, that he would be violent with Teresa. They're really not connected if you really look at it closely. They're really not connected. Teresa, you couldn't compare her to Lori or to Jody. Teresa would be more like the girl that he sees every week at the grocery store or something, in the checkout cashier, something like that, where you have a really quick, short interactions, very specific interaction, and then you go your separate ways and you don't speak, talk, or interact at all. So, sorry, I'm like losing my voice. Anyway, so like I said, I don't think that those things should be connected. I don't think that he would have been violent towards Teresa. He would have had no reason to. Now, as far as rape goes, as being a possible motive here, yes, there were some accusations. Accusations only, no charges, besides in the Penny case, which obviously turned out to be completely untrue. But there were some other accusations of Stephen raping or behaving inappropriately with other women, including relatives and minors. But like I said, those are just accusations, so we really should not consider those things because they're not real charges that have been brought against him. He has not been convicted, so innocent until proven guilty. You can't tie those things together unless you have proof and reason to tie them together, and they're not. You can't say because he did this, he did that. He burned a cat, so he killed Teresa. That's not the same thing. They're not related. He choked his ex-girlfriend, so he probably choked Teresa. We don't know that. We don't know those things, so you can't assume that they did happen and that they're part of a motive that he might have had. If you look at it just completely blank without knowing about his past in any way, what would you think that his motive would be? A man and a woman, maybe rape. You might assume rape, even though you might not have heard the other accusations. You might assume rape. But since there's no evidence of a rape, you can't just go around accusing people of rape. You can't accuse them of that being their motive when you can't prove that. So I just really want to stop looking at Stephen like a monster without real proof, without something real behind it. Like, if there were any other occasions of him being violent with acquaintances or strangers or, something like that, maybe. But in all the accounts, I mean, he's a pretty likable, friendly guy, real calm, down to earth, likes to chat, likes to talk. I mean, this is what you see when you see him in interviews and things. He seems wide open, has nothing to hide, and will say whatever is on his mind, whether he should or shouldn't. He might share a little too much, but it's not, I don't think he's never said anything that would incriminate himself. He's never said anything that has been proven to be a lie. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, especially when you're considering timelines. If you asked me what I had for dinner 3 nights ago, I don't know. I can tell you what I had last night, but not 3 nights ago. I mean, it's just a non-memorable thing. Why would I need to remember that? I couldn't tell you a lot of details about my day from a week ago. If you were to ask me today, what did you do on this day at this time? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. The usual. The usual, which is nothing special. Fiddled around on my computer. Really, what websites did you go to? I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, about 1 million. I don't know. Did anybody see you do this? No, I'm by myself here with a cat. So, no, probably not. I'm going to say no. Things like that. I don't have an alibi. I mean, someone could just come along and accuse me of something that I didn't do. I don't have an alibi. I can't remember what the hell I did. That doesn't mean I'm lying. If you understand what I'm saying. I want to stop putting the things together that don't need to go together, that don't have a real reason to be put together. So let's just not consider those things, because they're just speculation, they're just theories, they're just ideas. There's no facts behind them that prove anything. So anyway, let's just stick with the facts. What do we know? What do we know? And I can say not a lot. We don't know a lot of what actually happened to Teresa. We don't know. And that's really troubling. Some actual proof of what happened to her would be nice, wouldn't it? It would make a lot of people happy to finally know what happened to her, put it to rest and end it, and who did this to her. And that's really my personal goal. I want to find that out. I want to know who did that. I want them to be held accountable. So if I believed in any way, I don't care. If I came across anything that made me believe Stephen, I would be the first to say, all right, I was wrong, and this is what I found, and here you go. Here's some facts. Not just, hey, I've got an opinion. Because I really don't like to go around accusing people of things that I can't prove. And I try not to do that. I try not to name names about anybody that there's just accusations flying around. That's not how I do things. So, respect, innocent until proven guilty. Don't accuse people of things without facts. Don't connect things that aren't connected by facts. And just be careful. And you might find that your opinion will change if that's the way you look at it. So, anyway, hopefully. Alright, so Clue TV. Clue TV is getting started up. It is going to be awesome. We're adding content every day. Stuff's being put on there. Can't wait to, dig into other cases and things. I'm totally interested in some other stuff because all these Stephen Avery things have been talked about. So, new stuff. And subscriptions are half off right now. So if you get in early with us, get locked in at the discounted price. That would be awesome. Put links below for you, so come check it out, please, and hang out with us over there. Thanks.